Bro, this is your boy Jamal
And
Mills.
this your boy Andy Miller.
So walking the shift in the culture, man. What we doing, bro?
Man, look, man, culture shocking. I can't even get it right. Culture shocking progress.
Culture shocking progress. So all right, today we got a touchy subject today. I'm not gonna even like I'm really digging this. I've been waiting for a long time to really
Long time.
like to really talk on this. Now I ain't gonna even lie. The subject we got today, the topic, bro. I think it's gonna hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Cause it hit home to me.
Most
And
definitely, most definitely.
I ain't gonna lie. I got it from him. I came home. I checked him out. He was on live. So today's subject, I ain't gonna even, we gonna get straight into it. So today's subject, we had to break up part two.
Two times. Two
Part
times.
two.
Two times.
Yes, sir. Part two.
Part two.
And I ain't gonna even lie to it, bro. I'm ready to get into it. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right. So we had to break up part two. I'm not gonna lie. My boy did a live about a couple weeks ago. He tapped in on it. So I was just busy and I came home and I tapped in. I like the things that he said he was putting out. You know, people was tapped into it. So while we get into it, bro, I want you to tell the folk, bro, why you came up and we had to break up. How you come across that?
Man, listen, just going through life, man, going through what I was going through at the time, I was like, okay, well, at the end of the day, like, why not share your experiences with the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, a specific situation happened, and it kind of like really like just changed my perspective on everything as far as what I was going through at the time. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Normally I tap into the lives, you already know that, but like this one was it was unique because it wasn't just me just talking or me just giving them a word. You know what I'm saying? It was like me telling my story, telling a specific story, a
All
specific
right.
situation that happened.
So
So
how you come up with we had to break up though? What made you come up with that title? What was going on though?
I mean, to be honest with you, man, it's like it's every day, man. Everyday struggles, bro. You got to break up with the people, places, and things around you, bro. And it was just one of them things where I feel like I needed to touch on it.
All right. So you needed to touch on. So all right. So you said people, places, and things. All right. So what about the people? What was going on? Tell me,
Man.
bro. Tell the people, bro. What been going on with you?
Man, just a lot, man. You deal with so much individually that sometimes you gotta just tap into not only your faith, but also you gotta be a transparent person, and you gotta be the person that look at yourself and say, you know what, let me check the man in the mirror. And sometimes it's not what you doing, it's what other people doing around you, man. So it's like the people, and I want to say it's not always females, bro. Sometimes it's males too. You know what I'm saying? Your homeboys, your family, your friends, all of that, bro. Like for me specifically, it was just like the situation I was in. I had too many people in my ear giving their opinions about certain stuff. So I was like, let me throw that on the live too and let people know. Sometimes you got to break up with some of the people in your life, man.
All right. I definitely did that. Now, I ain't gonna even lie to you, cause I know me and you done had a couple conversations. And bro, I know last year, bro, it was it was hell for her, bro.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But it was worth it. I ain't gonna lie though, but we went through a process. So I ain't gonna even lie to you. So the fact that you said that we had to break up with some things, bro, it really hit home. So cause I lost a lot of things last year. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get to the point in a position where I'm at now. And that can come physically, but also spiritually. Cause I ain't gonna in front tell you like the reason why I said it hit home for me is because God dealt with a lot of things with me that I had to let go and break up with.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? The things that I dealt with when I was young, So the fact that now that I had to deal with, because the main thing he dealt with me with is I had to make room to receive. But not only did I had to make room to receive, I had to release.
Talk about that a little bit, man, because I don't think people realize how important that is.
Well, I already done told you already what it was. So for me, and I put it like this is the reason why I said that I had to release something. Because I had stuff that I thought I was over with. You know what I'm saying? That I thought I was done and went through, don't hear from. But that stuff technically was still inside of me.
Gotcha.
And I learned that, dealing with me learning that I was getting angry quick. Things around me had more control over me than what I had over myself. So I really wanted to tap in with it because it made me sit down and really reconcile what I had going on. So I use, for example, like I realized I sat down and I realized like when things didn't go my way, I kind of got an anger issue. You know what I'm saying? I started flipping out. Like it didn't take but the smallest thing really to make me get ticked off. So finding out that I lashed out that quick over small thing, like, bro, this ain't right, because this ain't me. Normally it takes a lot to get under my skin or So I knew it was a lot of stuff, and then spiritually, like I knew some stuff that I was battling with, like spiritual welfare.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to tap in and let these people know, like that today we got to really break up with things that don't mean us no good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's what you dealing with, your past, you know what I'm saying, a dead end relationship, people that we come across, or however, whatever it is, bro. Like if it don't mean no good, if it don't add to your life, let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Most
Like
definitely.
me and you done talked about it a couple times. Like I use for example, like last year, God really had to sit me down in a quiet place by myself. And let me just be honest with you, like bro, I had to go to a whole new place by myself, bro, and just really just tap in. You know, as we
Mm-hmm.
say, bro, check your temperature. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, definitely.
Check the temperature. So I had to tap in. I mean, you don't talk about it, bro, like a couple times. Like I said, I had to tap in, and things he was telling me were like the anger issues I had, the resentment, you know what I'm saying, feeling alone, feeling like then nobody really understand where I
Mm-hmm.
was coming from. And he was like, I can't give you what I got from you. And just even moving in life, bro, like I couldn't move in life like the way I needed to move. You know what I'm saying, make a move because my emotion was affecting my thought process.
Gotcha.
Was affecting my decision process. So I had to find a way. Well, I had to go to a secluded place, bro, and really, I ain't gonna even lie to you. They say that a man don't really supposed to cry like that shows sign of weakness. I ain't gonna even lie to you, but I cried like a mother. But your boy was balled up in the
You
Phoenix
and me
position.
both,
I ain't
bro.
gonna even lie to you. But I was like,
You too, man. I
I
done
was
been
like, I
there.
was in there, but tight, boy,
I done been there.
crying. But I had, but it was good for him, bro. I had to release, cause for years, for years, bro, it was hard for a brother like really to tap in and really cry to let stuff out. Just even
Mm-hmm.
show some type of sign of emotion, because we were taught, bro, as men, like you don't show sign of emotion like that. Show sign of weakness, like you got to be strong. But that ain't really true, because all that stuff built up inside of you don't mean anything. And I know you been through that too.
Oh
So,
yeah, definitely.
so you know what I'm saying? Like I
Definitely.
definitely had to let that go. So that's my example. Like, what about you, bro? Like,
Man,
so
just
what you had to release, bro?
man, going through a process is something serious, man. Like especially when you feel like you don't have nobody there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you don't have nobody to talk to. And for
Right.
me, it was more so of getting to a place to where I had to let people go. But in the midst of me letting people go, it was like okay, it was a level of submission that I had to hit. I felt like I wasn't submitting myself the way I needed to submit myself in order to get through the process. So I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? Just walking by faith and not by sight. That's part of it. But like, what can you do?
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
can you
sir.
do when you feel like you're alone? You know what I'm saying? Like I dealt with rejection and abandonment early on in life, and it transitions from a little kid to a teenager to a grown man. So always feeling like you alone, but having to walk away from certain things, certain people. And like I said, for me, my experiences was just that, man. I had to like remove myself from the people that didn't mean no good at that specific time in my life. And just like last year, man, like you said, man, we went through so much in a short amount of time that I don't think people realize. Like things can change in the I mean like split instant.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
sir.
Like your
Yes,
whole
sir.
situation can shift. You can be high and end up dropping real low, or you could be low and go all the way up depending on where you at and what you're trying to do. So for me, I would say that was probably it, man. It was just literally getting to a point to where you like, okay, like something got to give, something got to change, man. Like
Oh
a
yeah.
shift got to come. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, well I spoke on that. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. See, like the thing for me to piggyback what you saying there, like Pops always told me growing up, like an old habit is hard to break. Like it takes 21 days to break a habit, and 21 days to make a new habit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a mind thing, and also like he always told me like old keys don't open up new doors. You know, shout out to my pops, bro. He was real, like you know what I'm saying. So he get on my nerve, but he wasn't the one that was wild for you good. But
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
definitely.
but shout out Pop. But see, he was there though. So you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate my pops for doing that. Shout out to you. But yeah. So just realizing that, cause I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When I was young, I was running from a lot of stuff, you know, trying to go place to place, cause try to get away from where I came from and what I was brought up from. Cause like I was brought up in a small town. I ain't gonna even lie to you, like we had no opportunity there like that. Everybody knew everybody. You know how that is, bro. Everybody knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and everybody bit. But like the opportunity that which kind of kept me in a closed mind in a secluded area, but deep down inside of me, I always wanted more. Which is why you said with places like God try to shift you to another place. Sometimes you got to get going. you hear a lot of people say that. Like, sometimes like you got to shift from one place to another, but in order to get there, you got to trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
But me being young, the reason why I'm saying that, me being young, I was always running like when things got hard because I was just voting certain things I wasn't ready to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of me forgiving and letting go or just working on it and moving past and taking time to heal or whatever the process is to be, I ain't do it. I was just always running instead of facing the process. So, like I said before, me now, you know what I'm saying, it's like, as the Bible said, I put it like that because you know how I get. Like as the Bible said, you know what I'm saying, when I was a child, I acted as a child, I spoke as a child, I behaved as a child. But when I grew up, when I became a man, I let go childish ways. And you know what I'm saying, that really hit home, but a lot of people don't say it how it's supposed to be said. But that's another subject for another day. But
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's another subject. But the fact is, like, I had to face what I had to deal with. So things like my anger issue, bro, I had to break up with it. Resentment, I had to break up with it. Cause I had no joy. And I ain't gonna even lie to you. Like on some real stuff, like this is a true story. Like somebody asked me one day, and this how I knew that I had an issue. Like somebody asked me one day, like, when the last time you ever felt like real love or actually had real peace in your life? And it was crazy for me. I can't say what nobody else said, but for me, I thought like, okay, outside of my family, you know what I'm saying? But even then, we had our own issues in it. I never really had real peace. To me, that's what I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, I never had real peace. And I couldn't think of a time that I did. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, being bullied, all types of stuff, resentment holding in. I ain't even love myself. Depression kicked in. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff I was battling with that most people didn't know, which is why I kind of kept myself secluded. When the last time you felt real love outside of family? I couldn't think of a time. Like for me, I couldn't think of a time that I actually literally felt like, and it bothered me. Like I thought, like, bro, that's crazy. I can't really think of a time, like even anytime soon. And I was like, bro, there's some stuff in me I got to work on. Cause I'm like, why I can't recall a time that I was truly happy for a time period? And we had short sports, you know what I'm saying? Like short time periods or whatever, like you get a little happy, but it don't last long. You know what I'm saying? The heat of the moment, type thing. So, and that's just with anything. But after that, gon' come and go. Like, what's there? You know what I'm saying? So, and I couldn't think of a time like what was really there. And I know you can because when I mentioned we chopped it up, we kind of figured out we had a lot of stuff in common. So, but when she asked me that, bro, I was like, bro, that left me stuck. Like I was puzzled. Like I ain't gonna like I told her, like, let me hit you back up and let me ponder on that. So it had me up for a couple hours, and I was like, this would let me know, like, bro, I got some things that I need to work on. So I just remember laying down one night and God speaking to me, like, I need you to let it go. I need you to make room with it. I need you to break up with things. Because he said, I can't put in you what I'm trying to get to you because you still holding on to things from your past. So I need you to let it go. People, places, things, whatever. And he gave me an example. And this is how I knew that I still had to. He said, because, and he used my self-esteem about it. He said, if I asked you to do something out in public, in the street, you wouldn't do it. He said, why? Because you're too busy to be worrying about what people say about you, how they think about you and stuff like that. And to myself, I'm telling like, I don't care about that. But evidently, deep down, I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't care what people say about me because I'm still going to be me. But I guess deep down in me, I thought I was over that. I technically wasn't over that. So he's like, you wouldn't do things that I would need you to do. And because of your low self-esteem, you'll be too busy worrying about what people going to say about you, how they going to think about you, and stuff like that. And we can't do that, especially what I'm calling you to do. And I see the purpose. Like, I can see it because that's what I think about all day. But the fact knowing that I still had this stuff buried up inside of me and I haven't broken up with it or released it or let it go is hindering me. You know what I'm saying? It's hindering my movement. It's hindering my blessing, which is the point of what I'm getting to. So the fact that I needed to face that. So when I tell you I had to cry, bro, let that stuff out, I ain't going to tell you no lie. After a couple while of letting it out, I found peace. Which is why it's important to break up with things, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I know for me, personally, it was more so of finding that peace was a journey.
Yes, sir.
Like it took some real digging. Like it really took me to get to a point to where I can look at myself and be like, all right, Like I was saying, you got to be able to look at the man in the mirror and be like, okay, well, when all else fails and all this go left, what can you say about yourself at the end of the day? And for me, my peaceful place and getting to my peaceful place, it came at a dark time. It came
what was going on? What was going on?
Man, just a breakup itself, man. Dealing from a relational standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, bro, it's like going through that relationship. Yeah, definitely. Going through a relationship, man, and trying to figure it out, man. Trying to figure out, all right, cool, how can I improve myself moving forward? You know what I mean? She broke up with me. I ain't break up with her. She broke up with me, and from that situation, it was like, all right, cool. Like, how can I better myself? So I took time out to really explore peace from a general place, not just, okay, man, I'm at peace, I'm happy. No, digging, learning everything about me that I felt like I needed to fix. Whether if it was, you know what I mean, my bad attitude, bad habits, them type of things, man. And I really studied myself. And I got to a point to where I learned how to appreciate me and love me, myself, wholeheartedly, to a point to where, man, everything I wanted to do, I did. Like, I remember saying that I wanted to be a husband one day, so I acted as such. I spoke as such.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I carried myself like a husband. I was like, all right, cool. One day I eventually be somebody's husband, so I have to act like it. And the reason why that relationship failed wasn't because of, anything outlandish. It was just poor decision making on both sides. You know what I'm saying? We both made poor decisions, and I felt like as I grew and what I was trying to do, I didn't think she understood the magnitude of what was going on. So my peace came after a breakup. Like, it came, and she wasn't the demise of my peace. I was the demise of my own peace because I wasn't at peace with myself. You know what I'm saying? So as I found my peace and transitioned into a different space, it catapulted me to another place. You know what I'm saying? And that peaceful place for me was everything, because at the end of the day, bro, if you can't be at peace with yourself, let alone the love part, but if you can't be at peace with yourself, bro, you never gonna be able to move and transition and shift in whatever your purpose is. And the thing about the purpose is, and I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit, is most of the time with people, we do stuff and we date people basically predicated on our preferences versus our purpose.
So before you get that, because we're going to tap that, I like that, because I definitely want to dive into that. But since you said you had to start the process of loving yourself, tell them, bro, what was the process like?
Ooh, man. To be honest,
what you had to do, like, because a lot of folk don't understand when you healing and you going through the process of love. That's a tough situation of what part of you healing by yourself.
I would say, man, to start off, man, you got to reconcile with whatever the problem is. You got to find out what it is that you're dealing with from the root. Figure out what the root of the problem is, and instead of running from it, take it head on. So admitting you got a problem and facing that problem was the first step for me. Once I tackled that, it was like, okay, well, let me seek help, because I can't do it by myself. In a sense to where I needed somebody to talk to. I needed to be able to talk to them. I reached out to a couple of people, man. I reached out to a person that was a pastor. I actually reached out to 2 or 3 different pastors. And after I reached out to these pastors, what I also realized was I had friends that had transitioned into ministers and deacons and stuff like that. So I reached out to a couple of them as well. And once I tapped into that, it was like, okay, well, now I'm embarking on a whole nother journey. So I had to switch my mindset from being this person of, okay, well, it's me. It's all about me. It's all about myself, to really get into a place to where I wanted to change and I wanted to help. So after I tackled those things, it was definitely a point to where I was single, and in my singleness, I had to heal certain things. But I always tell people, like, in your singleness, appreciate where you are in your process, because it's super, super important, because eventually the Lord is going to send somebody that's going to help you get through for the next chapter, the next phase, or the next transition, to shift you into another like a whole different dynamic of where you need to go. So in other words, it's like your singleness should be impartation to a place of working towards building to get a closer relationship with the Lord and healing. But in the process of that, the Lord is going to send you somebody, bro, that's going to get you over that hump, that's going to help you release everything that he couldn't get you to release while you were single.
All right, bet. So the fact that, like, so let's put it for example, like you said, so trusting the process yourself. So first thing was you got to take accountability, see what the issue is, and find out what the issue is first.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you had to do.
Yeah, most
So
definitely.
you had to really stare yourself in the mirror and realize, all right, what my issue, like what I got going on,
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with. So once you did that, because I remember me and you chopping it up, and I know you would tell them that, like, even when we first met, you know, that was crazy how we
Oh yeah,
met.
definitely.
But, you know what I'm saying, like, you would just tell me, like, bro, it was some things you had to do. Even where you were from, you had to really get away from where you was at just to find your peace, but to find yourself. Which another thing coming with breaking up, you got to set a healthy balance of what you allow in and out your life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the time, especially when you into singing this part, like,
Mm-hmm.
I had to find that out myself too. So don't get it wrong. Like, this sofa, it's comfortable as crap.
Say it's comfy, huh?
Yes sir, yes sir. But you had to get it. You know what I'm saying? Get back to, you know what I'm saying? You had to get to the point where you had to figure out what you allow in and out. As I ain't gonna lie, I had to set the balance. Because I'm not gonna lie, even with me dealing with myself, and we finna get to relationship parts. I've been waiting to tell this all day. But getting to the point of where you like to deal with yourself. Because what I realized after I worked on myself and I found peace and things that I working on myself, I realized a lot of stuff that I was not allowing to happen in my life. Like, I wasn't finna allow people that didn't mean me no good. That, like, if I just got over anger issues, or why the world I'm finna bring somebody in my life that don't give me peace? You feel me?
Oh, so it was a vibe thing, like that inner peace with the vibe. You don't want nobody to take over. You know what I'm saying? The positive vibes that you got, turn them into negative ones, something like that.
Well, for the fact that I had to forgive myself for allowing myself to take accountability for myself, or me standing in certain situations that I knew I should have been in. That, and then it goes from homeboys, relationships, and wild stuff too. Cause I, you know, trying to fit in with the group, trying to be in with the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put myself in a sticky situation that I should have never been in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fit in, but letting them go, because, you know, everybody ain't meant to go where you go. So sometimes you got to cut people off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You are who you keep around. So I had to realize that. Because, you know, as growing up, you know, because I got into a mindset where I ain't give a crap. Whatever happened, good and bad. But I was young, you know what I'm saying? I can't use young and dumb as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what it was. You feel? Like, that's exactly what it was. So I can't allow my mindset to deter away from the fact, like, that's exactly what I needed to do. Like, all right, something got to change. You know what I'm saying? And I use, for example, because I had a bad habit of doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Overexerting myself for the wrong people and not exerting myself for the right people. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stuck me in the stick. So knowing that, cutting them off, get myself together. And you know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have something for a while and when you finally get it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we look at stuff on the physical and not really see what it bringing on the spiritual, or, you know what I'm saying, mentality wise, you know what I'm saying? Just like me and the chick, and I ain't gonna even lie to it. Like, I'm gonna give it, now we finna tap into the relationship. Like, I'm gonna use my ex for a while, like my son. I'm not gonna even kiss her out. She a good woman, you know what I'm saying? She's a definitely wonderful mother, you know. Shout out to my baby mom. You know, I ain't gonna give her name out to put out. But for the fact that, let me just, my testimony, like my story about it. So when I met her, because of things that I felt like I didn't have that real love, like I said, I couldn't think. I was coming into the situation looking for something. You know what I'm saying? Something serious. Now, compared to what she was looking for, you know what I'm saying? We come from two different lifestyles. But I knew what I was coming in looking for. But knowing what she went through and what she had, when we came together, it was good all in the first. You know how it is, the honeymoon phase. So everything was good. But then I started to see the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, lack of communication, like, stuff like that we was going through, but we kept going through it. And to make a long story short, I lost myself in that relationship. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I knew it halfway, because we was together about 3 years going on 4. You know what I'm saying? But I knew, like, halfway through that relationship, I'm like, bro, I don't even know why I'm still here. I don't understand, like, bro, I don't even understand why I'm still, because I see the argument, it ain't getting no better, you feel me? Like, it ain't getting no better. We sitting constantly arguing, like, bro, like, I ain't got time to argue. I don't like to argue, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, some stuff got to have, like, the communication got to be, it takes two, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying, like, she a bad person, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying I ain't had no wrong, because, like I said, I can take accountability for my mistakes, you know what I'm saying, or what I did. So don't think I ain't taking accountability for it, because I can admit I ain't do everything right either. But for the fact that I know I was trying to. But see, like I said, my eye was too busy seeing what it could be instead of seeing what it was. So sticking in it. And like I said, I know I should have said something. As a man, I should have said something. I did. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I should have stuck to what I knew, what I needed. No, but you know, sometimes we do that when we're young. You know, like we know we need to get out of the situation, but we decide to stay in. So, yeah, I should have left. But anyway,
I mean, I definitely could relate to that, man. I
so
done had situations like that as well, to where, as men, we often define the whole relationship, and we don't know how to separate relations from relationships. And I think in my last relationship, it was not only the lack of communication, but I mean, this is called a spade, man. Like when you wrong, and people don't want to admit when they wrong. You know
no.
what I'm
So
saying?
what you mean? Like most men don't know how to break the difference between relation and
I mean,
relationships.
the thing is with that is relationship is the correlation between two or more things or people. You know what I'm saying? But relations is a little different.
All
When
right.
you tap into the relation standpoint, anything can have relations. You know what I'm saying? And relationships is a gathering of certain things. So what I mean by that is like most dudes that I come across, and sometimes in females cases too now, because now men are more feminine and females are more masculine. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
want to go there.
So
What you
so
saying? Yeah,
so
we
so
can go
it's a
another
little
day.
different. It's a little different now, but to get back on point though, it's like most dudes, man, they don't look at relationships. You see what I'm saying? They look at relations. They look at, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying, that we sleep together, if we doing what we doing, you know what I'm saying, that's what we doing. But in a female's mind, they looking at it like, yo, this a whole relationship. You know how many times I've been in a forced relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like in a situation where I knew, all right, cool, well this is what it is, but this is what she making it out to
All
be.
right. So, but I came in that situation looking for it. I knew what I wanted. See, at that time, I knew what I wanted. Because I ain't had one. Like before, I couldn't think that I had somebody to real love, you know what I'm saying? Somebody to have my back at the time of a real relationship. So for me, I came in there looking for it. And I knew, and I told her from the jump, like straight up, I told her straight from the jump, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I can bring to the table. And this is what it is. Now, granted, life hit whatever, but I still made it work.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, like I said, we just came from two different places. But see, my thing was, my issue that messed me up was cause I know how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm with you to the wheels fall off. Like I'm loyal all day, and if it ain't loyalty, I can't rock with you. Like anybody that knows me know that. Like I'm loyal out to the real. Everything else will fall in place. But with that being said, like I came in there what really made me stick in the relationship with her. Like I said, shit what it could be. But the fact that I started to open my eyes and like, bro, this ain't meaning me no good. Like, bro, I'm starting to see that I'm getting angry quick. You know what I'm saying? Like emotion stuff that I normally don't put up with, I was putting up with. You know what I'm saying? By the time, because that the way we raised is a happy wife or a happy, you know what I'm saying? But saying what I'm, cause I ain't gonna lie to you, like I was planning on proposing and all
I'm
that.
glad you said that though. And the reason why I said that is like, why is it that we find ourselves in situations to where we start giving marital benefits to people that we not married to? Why is that? Like I definitely want to tap on that because I mean, like I said, well, my last situation was a little different, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but that situation, I mean, I could be honest in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take the brunt of the responsibility of why it failed. You know what I'm saying? From a cheating aspect, I done been a cheater, I done been a liar, I done been a manipulator, I done been all these things before I turned into the person I am now. That's gonna just be raw, very open, very honest, and very transparent. And I had to get to that place. So what I mean by that is like, why is it that we do that? Like and I mean we, because I done it myself. I done gave the person that I was with or the person that I'm kicking this game to or trying to be with. I give them the marital status and the wifey. You know what I'm saying? And really, they ain't really earned nothing. They ain't earned their place. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really did nothing outside of entertain what you going through right now. Because what I real say is people can fall in love with you in a place that you ain't even at your peak yet. People will fall in love with to hurt you, and then when you heal, they don't want you no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's deep. That's like real deep. You know what I'm saying? That'll cut like, but for real, like I've been in situations to where you heal and they fell in love with the hurt you. They fell in love with that hurt version of you to a point to where when you heal and level up, they still down here because they didn't take their process as serious as you did. So you know what I'm saying? Like not to throw you off, man. I just felt like I needed to throw that in there because it was very important.
All right, well, see, this the thing though, cause like if I gotta keep it all the way in the book, I tell y'all, and I want to know like first thing first, you reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying? What you put out there is what you gonna get back. So I'm just gonna put it like this. Like you said, you was a manipulator, you was a cheater, you was stuff like that. So 9 times out of 10, I mean that's just how life works. But the reason why we do certain things, and I'm gonna use for example, like when we used to certain type of women, or we used to certain type of men, like women used to certain type of men, and they get comfortable with them, regardless of no matter what phase, like if they ain't worked on it or seen the value in themselves
Mm-hmm.
to even let stuff do. First of all, you got to hear like you said earlier. But the reason why we sometimes we do it because we run back to a place of familiarity. That's what we do.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know
like
what I'm saying? Like we tend to stick around the stuff that because we content with it, we comfortable with it, we used to it, we know how to deal with it, regardless if it means us no good or not. So if you, just like for example, if you used to a broken family home, you actually having a family, somebody actually carrying you. You know what I'm saying? For example, like somebody actually showing you real love and actually care about you and want your good interest. It seemed weird. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed weird to you. But that because you used to a broken home. You either used to your father not being there, or your mother not there, or somebody on drug dishes. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, we know what goes on in a broken family home. So
Definitely.
we're not going too much in depth. So because we used to that, that's what we comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get somebody to norm, it's like, man, it's like somebody got to have an altered, you know what I'm saying, ulterior motives or something like, oh, they plotting something. But sometimes you really got a lot of people out here with genuine good heart.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm saying that too is because we run it, and the reason why we do it is because, first of all, we ain't healed. But second of all, have you really forgave anybody that did you wrong? And the reason why I'm saying forgiveness for because, as they say, forgiveness ain't for them, it's for you. And as they say before, like if anybody can walk into your space or in an atmosphere where you at, and it can change your whole mood, or anything that can change your whole mood, then they got power or control over you. And it ain't got to just be a person. It can be a thing. It can be a situation. It can be something that remind you of something that happened in the past. Which is saying stuff that like I said earlier, things I thought I was over, I really wasn't over it. Because certain stuff reminded me stuff that I had dealt with in the past. And I haven't forgave or really moved on from it. Now, and I had to find me a release point. So me forgiving them was part of me starting my healing process for myself. And the fact that I started that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started that, and once I started the healing process and I started forgiving them, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you a situation, bro. Like, I ain't really told too many to nobody. And I know, like, a lot of y'all, if you spiritual, then you could probably understand. So, if not, then you know what I'm saying? You know what it is. So, one night I was sitting in the car. I ain't gonna lie to you, I couldn't sleep, so I just went outside. That's my quiet place. So I could just sit in the car, clear my mind and think. So I went outside and I sat in the car, and I could hear like in my head and in my spirit, like you know what I'm saying. I could hear God telling me like, you know what I'm saying, start forgiving people. You know what I'm saying. But the crazy thing is, as I was starting to forgive people, I was also starting to forgive myself. It went from me forgiving them to forgiving myself because I had to forgive myself for allowing myself to stay in that situation. Regardless of whatever it is, for allowing that to even get to me. Not only did it get to me, that allowed for it to stick to me. Because a lot of people always talking about, but I got to say this. And if y'all don't listen to anything else I tell you, like listen to this. I'm so tired of people saying that they got walls up. What you having walls up? You don't supposed to have walls up. You need to have gates. What walls you got stuff that can come in, but where your exit at?
Correct.
Where can the stuff lead? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a spirits or you got bad energy. If you get bad energy that comes in and you got a wall up, now if it's inside of you, how you gonna let it go? Because you got the wall that's blocking it in there. See, you need a gate. And with the gate, you can let stuff in and you can let it out. You got an entry just as well as you got an exit. So remember that. Stop saying that I got walls up. And remember, like, you need to have gates, not walls. So I just want to drop that on you. Like, keep a gate in. You know what I'm saying? Keep gates. Not no wall.
So even with that though, man, like keeping the narrative still the same, man, with you know, breaking up with the people, places and things, man, like the get to the actual question that you asked at the top was like how I ended up getting to a point to where I wanted to do a live, man. It's just being able to share my testimony with other people on why I felt like you have to break up with certain things, certain people, certain places.
Right.
And man, just going through it, man. Like I spoke on it briefly on my live about the situation, or how I called it like the travel paradigm, to where I explained to people like we have to use this whole airport terminology. We got to break it down.
Before you say that. See, before we get to that, 'cause I ain't gonna hold you up, but it was something you said on there that was so hard.
What's up, man?
That was so dope, bro. And I was
What's
like, I
up?
like the way that you used it. I don't know how you got, but I feel like, boy, there had to be a divine or God had to speak to you.
What you talking about, man?
It's somewhat to the relationship part. 'Cause I don't want to get off it too quick, but bro, you said a lot of times, especially with women or men, but a lot of times us nowadays, bro, we deal with flood producers instead of art
yeah,
builders.
definitely.
And when I heard that was so dope.
Oh, all right. So I can get into that, man.
So explain that.
I'm gonna get into that. Like, okay, basically, man, you deal with people, and it's females that I notice. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably dudes too. So I'm not just gonna single out the women. I'm not gonna just single out the women here. I'm just gonna say people in general. We as people, we tend to deal with people that's causing and wreaking havoc in our life, like all around, bro. Like,
you call them flood producers.
yeah, like, and it's like they are literally causing so much havoc. It's like a tornado storm. It's like a tornado flew in your life and just caused havoc. You know what I'm saying? Pure hell, bro. Pure hell. And it's like, I call them flood producers because at the end of the day, man, that's what it is, bro. They flooding you with negativity. They flooding you with everything, bro. Like, they draining your positive energy. They killing your vibe. You not getting nowhere. And my thing was, like, I was binge watching sermons one day, and as I started to binge watch these sermons, I heard a man. I can't even think of the name because I don't watch so many of them. But he was basically saying like why women don't go for art builders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, art builders. It didn't make sense. It didn't click to me. So then as I started to listen more, I was like, I ended up putting the flood producer with it, and I was like, okay, now I get it. So
what's the difference between a flood producer? Give them examples of a flood producer and an art builder.
Okay,
what's the qualities of a flood producer first?
Flood producer's gonna come in, he gonna destroy. He or
she, okay.
Yeah, he or she, he gonna they. We're gonna say they.
Right,
people that are flood producers are gonna come in, and basically what's gonna happen is they're gonna put up this facade like everything good with them. They're gonna put up like this fictitious front, like they all that. They gonna come in and everything gonna seem good, bro. And then
so wolves and sheep clothing, right?
Exactly.
Now.
So then they gonna come in and stuff's just gonna start happening, bro.
Right.
Stuff
so
gonna
like
start
they take
happening.
away or
they
they
gonna
add?
No. They taking away, bro. They destroying everything around them. That's why they flood producers. They flooding in the negativity. They gonna flood in everything, bro. It's gonna basically destroy everything you done built.
So you got like, so basically what you said, like they, like he or she, like if you got a man and a woman that come in your life, or just anybody that come in and try to change the situation. Now I'm just gonna use relationships since we gonna get on that point.
Definitely.
So basically you saying flood producer, man or woman that come in your life, they doing a leeching off.
Okay.
They ain't trying to help you grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They only add to your stress.
Yeah. Anchor relationships. They holding you down, but not in a good way.
That ain't go. Yeah. So they keeping you standing still.
Oh yeah. Woo, treadmill. You running, but you ain't going nowhere. You feel me? That type of situation.
Revolving door.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like you just going in circles.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell these people, bro, what is an art builder?
Okay, so art builders, man. Art builders. It's like, you know what I mean? When you look at it from a biblical standpoint, Noah's Ark was built. You know what I'm saying? And not only was it built, but why was it built? You know what I'm saying? To get the people that was following into a safe situation, a safe environment, and a safe covering. But also, it was to line everybody up 2 by 2, not 1 by 1. You see what I'm saying? So everything that a art builder has is to be your suitable mate. You know what I'm saying? We find it hard to believe that it's somebody out there for us. Some of us do anyway. But in my line of work and what I do, man, I feel like, in all honesty, it's somebody out there for you, and they gonna help you. The problem is we date from a preference standpoint versus a purpose standpoint. We choose people that look good to us, but that mean us no good on the flip side when it comes to our purpose. Right, they don't know how to do that. So a art builder is gonna come in. They're gonna be proactive in your life. They're gonna push you. They're gonna literally push you to your purpose.
See, and I'm gonna tell you while you were saying that, I'm gonna tell you what kind of popped in my head and popped in my spirit. To me, like an art builder, and so I don't want to get into my preaching thing, but I gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like the way I'm seeing it is, an art builder to me is like an entrepreneur. But we're gonna use Noah for example. See, for me, he was like a high value man.
Correct.
And the reason why I'm saying that because a lot of people think, and I'm gonna use women when it comes to the men. If I get to what a high value man is, it's a mindset, it's a mentality. It ain't got nothing to do with money. It don't have nothing to do with status. It's a mindset. It's your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm gonna put a reason why I'm saying an art builder. Because a lot of times when you're an art builder, you pretty much walking by yourself. And a lot of times, women, if girls, you can be an art builder as a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we just gonna, a lot of times people don't really see your true potential or who you is.
That value.
Yeah, or your value that you can bring because they're too busy based off of status or something. And see, my thing is if you can't see it for yourself first, let me just go like that. If you can't see it for yourself first, you know what I'm saying, and see what you capable of doing and get yourself to that point, then you can't expect somebody else to see it. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that a lot of art builders, because I'm thinking like, but Noah was an art builder because he done told plenty of people the flood come, but then not man or no woman, did nobody believe him. They laughed at him. And it kind of bring me to like folks when they starting the business or starting to a dream. Like, you know, a lot of times when you walking alone and walking by yourself, that's a tough road. Even like when walking with God, that's a small narrow road walking with God, bro. Because folks will laugh at you, they'll talk about you, they'll throw your name in the dirt, they'll tear you down. And see, this is the reason why I'm saying it's important to break up with things. Because if you don't see the value in yourself and know who you are as a person, those little things right there can really deteriorate you who you meant to become.
Oh yeah.
Because you too busy, as they say, waiting on somebody approval for you when you need to have a good approval for yourself and high value for yourself. And if you don't know who you is as a person, man or woman, don't matter. Understand who you are, what your value is. You know, so that's why it's important. But for the fact that it's a lonely path, and you know, like you said it earlier, like that God is seeing you so that when you in the process of healing yourself, He'll also send you a helpmate to help you heal.
He will.
But see, in order for you to see that, first of all, you gotta get to a point to know what you're gonna tolerate and ain't gonna tolerate. First of all, let's get that going.
You gotta get to that process, man.
You gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying not to get to the preaching part because I don't want to drag this out too long. But,
hey man,
but
you gotta do what you
gotta
do.
Well, you know how we is, boy. Parlay in Fleetwood.
Hey, you know how it is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
is.
but it's so important though that people understand that, because what happens in the process of that is, like we always said, bro, you got to be in that perfect position. You see what I'm saying?
Sir.
And you got to be able to understand and see. You got to be able to know, like, when your help meet come, you got to be able to see who it is. Because a lot of times, man, we get hit with flood producers that come through our lives, bro, and it throw us way off. Because now at this point, we can't see the help.
Yes, sir.
We can't see
it. Now the devil's strategic, but he can send
definitely.
you a counterfeit just to show it can seem like everything, but it can be perfect.
And that's what I was saying with the airport terminology, bro. We got to look at, you know what I'm saying, departures, layovers, and arrivals. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about it. You know what I'm saying, from a airport terminology standpoint. Your departure is when you get to a point to where you in this season to where it's like everything was going good, but now it's going bad. So now you having to figure out if you want to stay or if you want to leave.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? We get to this place, all of us, we get to this place in relationships and dealing with people relational or non-relational.
Absolutely.
We get to this point where it's like, bro, are we moving forward or are we not moving forward? And if we ain't, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? So this is your departure. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the airport, you done bought your ticket, you ready to get on that plane or whatever the case may be. Like you in this place where you done bought the ticket to leave, but are you ready to depart yet? So then once you tackle that, like, all right, cool, I done left my situation or whatever. Now you in this layover phase of your life. And the layover phase, I equate that to like being able to see what you gotta let go. Seeing now that you done let go of this bad baggage over here, what is going to the next level with you? I equate it to and I say it like an elevator too. Like, we all done been on elevators, right?
Correct.
So because we all done been on elevators, what you have on flow 1 may can't go with you the flow 5. You see what I'm saying? It may can't elevate to the next level with you. So you have to be in a position to where you can appreciate them closed doors like you appreciate them open doors that the Lord bless you with. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that didn't catch that, let me say that again. You got to appreciate them closed doors. Closed doors. Just like you appreciate them open doors that the Lord gave you. Now, that's good.
Yes, sir.
But see, once you do that and you get to this mindset, like, all right, cool, thank God that door closed, boy, because I could have been over here, but I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Thank God this relationship right here didn't work out, because, boy, it's dangerous over there. Thank God this job ain't come through for me, because I got another one lined up over here. So then you get to your arrival point, and in the arrival point, now this is where you got to take all that other stuff off. You done took everything off, and now you are in the process of changing where you at. You changing your location, you're changing the people, you're changing everything around you. You know what I'm saying? Even your mindset shift. Right. Even that mindset shift to a point to where now you looking at everything differently. Now your spiritual eye, because a lot of times, bro, we can see, but we don't see. Our spiritual eye need to be in tune too. So, you know, I say that to say this, like, you got to understand that travel paradigm and the airport terminologies and relate it to your everyday life, bro. Sometimes you really got to get to a point to where you let these things go because it's hindering you. And I was always taught if it's not helping you, it's hindering you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and Pops always told me that too, though.
Yeah, definitely. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't know how to let go. They always say, okay, well, I'm gonna forget, or excuse me, I'm gonna forgive, but I never forget. But if you can't,
grudges, like,
and like, if you cannot forgive and forget, then you ain't healed yet, bro. You ain't healed mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. You ain't there yet. Cause there done been tons of people that did me wrong, and I just walk past them. You know, I pray for them every day, and I just keep it moving, bro. And I understand that we all are not in the same place at the same time as far as like where we going. Our mindset, everybody. But like I said, man, for me, that's why I look at things differently a lot of times when it comes down to relationships. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take it for granted, but I also know where I'm at.
Yeah, and see, it's crazy you say that, because the place that I'm at now, and like I said, for me, now that I don't work on myself, I mean, I still got other things I'm working on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But for the fact is, like, for me to know that I heal from what I'm farther than what I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always some stuff you can work on. But to know that I know who I am, I know my worth, and I know where I'm headed.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I consider myself an art builder. Because like I said, I got the mentality. You know what I'm saying? I got the things, you know what I'm saying? I know where I'm headed, I know what God can do.
So you saying you husband ready? That's what you're telling me.
Well, I've been husband ready for a long time, bro. Hey, look, bro, ain't nothing in these streets for me, bro. I'm telling you, I done had my time, I done had my day. You know, but that's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even get into that. I can't put it out like that. Don't worry about my business. Stay out of my personal affairs.
That's it. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stay out of my personal affairs. But nah. So this the thing though. Like, I'm back in the real talk. The fact that I know where I'm at, I know what I'm willing to accept and what I'm willing not to accept. Which is why for me, and I'm telling y'all, like, it's a good thing to heal. It's because the fact that I let all that hurt go, I let all that pain go, I let all the stuff that tore me down, that made me no good. I know my worth and I know what I want. You know, I know what I want in my life. You know what I'm saying? Who I want in my life, who I want to. And I move different. I'm gonna put it like that. I move so much different than what I used to do, even just 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just even 2 years ago, like, I'm a changed man.
That's what's up.
Like, I'm back in there, bro. You know, I wasn't that too much, but you know, I was out here.
I feel you.
Well, we know how it is now. You know how it is. Being young enough, we moving out here. But let's just be like, I'm glad God did what He did with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad God changed. You know, stepped in my life. You know what I'm saying, on the real talk, and changed me for the better. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was headed down a dark place, bro. I was suicidal. I was depressed, bro. I even thought about jumping off a bridge, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had all that stuff dealing with, bro. I want to run my car off the road because I was dealing with demons, bro. I was dealing with spirits, like, stuff in me, that anger issue that I thought I was over. And a lot of times, I felt like nobody could really understand.
Gotcha.
Even when I was in a relationship, like, my ex, she didn't understand because I was to the point that I didn't feel comfortable talking about real stuff because I lack of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can tell her what was really going on with me, and that was a hurtful thing too, but a sad case. But you know what I'm saying? Even outside of that, like, I couldn't even talk to my parents at the time, bro. I was going through a very dark place. But I thank God. I'm not going to like tell you, you know what I'm saying? I thank God for where He brought me from, because if it was not for Him, bro, and that's just sitting there taking the time. And I even thank Him for taking me through it, because if I didn't get vulnerable, because as a man, bro, like I said, we try to keep that hardcoreness out, that toughness out, and not getting vulnerable to the point where we need to listen. And as men, bro, like, I don't care what nobody say, bro. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to release somebody, release. Get help. Don't let pride get in the way of bettering yourself or really getting help. You know what I'm saying? Like, get help. Don't let these folk, I don't care what nobody tell you, bro. Don't let these folk deteriorate you from what you need to do to better yourself. Because at the end of the day, you got to live for you and you got to die for you.
I got you. So, to switch gears a little bit, though, man. Like, I mean, I know you in the sports, I'm in the sports, man. So, we're going to touch on that just a little bit. Like, how you feel about the NBA right now? How it's looking to you?
Boy, don't get me started, bud.
How it's looking to you right now?
Look here. I ain't gonna even lie to you, but I'm hoping my boy hit the championship. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Melo fan all day, so you know you haters don't even hate on
Which
me.
Melo though? You
What
got to speak it, man.
Boy, the real Melo, Carmelo Anthony.
Okay,
Nah,
okay.
I like Melo. I like little Melo. He's straight.
Okay.
He's straight.
Okay.
He's straight. But at the same time, like, I'm waiting for that playoff bracket to line up just right. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm ready for Cleveland to lose tonight. Not Cleveland, but the Lakers.
Okay.
I'm ready for them to lose tonight. So if I can lose them, we can avoid them. We should have a good, easy way to get to the Western.
Hey, man. Hey, they looking nice though, man. You know, Bron done came back, so you know what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he done came back. Anthony Davis back, so I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game.
Get up out of here.
It's gonna be an interesting game tonight, man. You know?
Speaking of that, since you said that, I heard from the grapevines. Now I noticed you said you had to get away because you had to find your people, but I heard back in the day, bro, you went against Stephen Curry and you did the dog work to him.
Oh yeah, man.
Now we talking about Stephen Curry.
3-3.
The greatest shooter ever to live. You know what I'm saying? Shooting guard.
Shooting, yeah.
I heard you went up again, but you dropped a good 32 again, a little 32 piece again.
Little something, man. You know, we actually played twice, but it wasn't the Steph Curry that y'all know now, of course. But in my honest opinion, bro, like to be 3 with you, bro, I think his brother better than he is. I think Steph is better than him all around. I think he a better shooter. I think Steph is a better shooter, but Steph is a better all around basketball player, in my honest opinion.
I don't know. I ain't really watching Brother much. I can't really say.
I think he is, bro. I think he is, man. Like, I mean, that's how I personally feel about it. Like, and I honestly, like, I mean, he definitely a better shooter than his brother, but all around game, I don't know, man.
So my thing is, now you went against, even though he ain't the same place he was then, but you went against him. Now you see where he is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't comparing, but you know what I'm saying. But let's just say, do you think going mano you was a better player than he was?
Oh man,
at the time, just want to know, did you think you was a better player?
I don't know, man. I feel like for
yeah,
me, if we going, yeah, man, I'll be a fool not to bet on myself. You feel me? I'll be a fool not to bet on myself.
All right, now since you said that, now I just want you said you better than him.
Hey, man.
I want y'all to know. He said he was better than Steph Curry at the time. Now he dropped that 3-2 piece on. Now
man.
Since you said that, and the reason why I asked, cause a lot of time, and just get on the shit note, the reason why I'm saying that, because to see where he at now, you know what I'm saying, and the accolades that he have, that's a blessing in disguise, first of all. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you went against him and knowing, because I say a lot of time when we say even breaking up with stuff too, it's also dealing with places too. And this is the reason why I'm saying, because on prime time, he said it the other day that it was funny for him not to see not one HBC.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? HBCU student in the draft, and he said it was a lot of talent that his school went up against that he thought should have been in the draft. Now the reason why I'm saying that, and we can go back 2-3 years ago, and we can use Zion, and we can use, and we gonna cut this short. You know what I'm saying? Get through with it, but Zion and Ja Morant.
Okay.
Because Zion come from Spartanburg.
Okay.
Even through the private school there, I don't know too much school, but I know fact it was bigger than where Ja came from. Ja came from Lamar. That's a 1A school like my area. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The country. It's small.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I'm saying it is because, like I said, when I come from a small town, but it ain't too many opportunities, which is why I had to get away. Which is why I said earlier I had to get away from it. It kept me in a closed box. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the opportunity wasn't there, and a lot of the mainstream coaches, like main colleges, he didn't get a full ride to, and neither like Zion did. Zion got Duke, whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
But Ja, and they even play AAU together. That's the
sad
sad part. They
definitely.
play AAU together.
Definitely.
But what I'm saying is, you can see the difference between where you at and where the opportunities at. The reason why you can get recognition, and see that's the thing I was saying with a lot, because they both went 1 and 2, and Ja went before No, Ja went after
After
him,
him, yeah.
but that because of the school too. I can see because he went to what, Murray State,
I think so.
and Zion, we all know he went to Duke. So for the fact there, which is why I said coming from a small town, sometimes you got to leave too. I need y'all to know sometimes you got to leave and go to a place you know what I'm saying, to get where you need to get to. Because sometimes you need to break away from the wrong environment, the wrong places. Which is why I'm saying that, because that really did hit home. Because I ain't gonna be honest, a lot of HBCUs that I know, it's surrounded by the hood.
That's where they put them at, bro. Like that's where they put them.
And
at.
I find that really.
Shouts out to HBCUs.
Oh yeah, BC. You already know. I went to Benedict College. You already know.
Shouts out, man, to the HBCUs, bro. Because I feel like we don't definitely have a lot of athletes come from them programs, man. Like so we definitely need more athletes to come from those programs, man. Just to be in that type of environment is dope. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so but we're gonna wrap this up real quick. So before we go though, you know what I'm saying, I want you to drop a couple nuggets. 3, 4 nuggets. We make it real quick. If you had to give them to them right now at the top of your head, or we had to break up, what would be the first nugget? 4 or 5 nuggets you want to give them, advice that you want to give these people, man, to let them know what they need to do, brother, to make themselves better, to break up with the wrong thing. What's your advice?
The first thing I would say would probably be look at the person in the mirror and own up to it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever accountability.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. My second one is seek advice, seek help. You know what I'm saying? Definitely seek help. My third one would probably be understand that you're not by yourself.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna ask you the same question, bro. If you had to give 3, what would it be?
Break up with old habits.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, first of all, let me say, accountability, because really you got to take accountability for yourself. Take care of why you allowed yourself to stay in a situation, because can't nobody do no more than you than what you allowed them to do. And that's anything, people, places, whatever you at, that's anything. So that'll be that. Take accountability for your action. Forgive, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, forgive, because that'll allow yourself to release to even start your healing process. And first and foremost, and most important, you know what I'm saying, stay with God, you know what I'm saying, because without him, nothing is possible. So we definitely going to get that.
Definitely.
And let's see, you know what I'm saying, shift your mindset. You already know what it is, shift your mindset.
Culture shock and progress, ain't it?
Yes, sir. You already know what it is. And you don't want to be like us, man, and I'm telling you, like, be better, cuz. Y'all know, inside joke, them green dots was on point.
Green dots, bro. Traveling out. Hey, I'm here to tell you, man, listen. It's your boy Andy Miller, man.
And this your boy Jamal Mills, man. Y'all tuned in to Shift in the Culture, bro. We holler at you.
Now it's time to hell out of here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.